What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you about silver coins, rounds, and bars, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive silver content. And if you want to support the channel by getting some DYDSS merchandise, we got t-shirts and hoodies and a bunch of gear that's raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Anything and everything can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. But I want to talk about silver. More specifically, I want to sit down and talk about coins, rounds, and bars. Like I have one of each right out in front of me to show you guys. And the reason that this video was inspired was because of a question that I was asked during tonight's live stream, or by the time you're watching this video, last night's live stream. Now, for those of you who do not know, I typically try to avoid talking about precious metals during the live stream, since I, after all, post videos about precious metals every single day. And I didn't want to answer it during the stream. However, I knew that it would make a pretty good video, and I have made videos talking about this in the past, but it's been months since I've actually sat down and made a video kind of like this. So now that I've learned a little bit more, now that I've grown the stack a little bit more, I figured, you know what, let me sit down and make a video talking about this. So sitting out in front of me, I have a silver American Eagle, silver Buffalo round, and a 10-ounce silver Sunshine bar. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the round, or just rounds in general. The reason that I have this is because when I first got started stacking silver, I would stack nothing but rounds. Basic, generic, secondary market, random design, silver rounds. And I thought that this was probably the best way of getting the most silver that I could possibly get. I wanted to get the most for my money at the time. Now I realize that I'm trying to get the most money for my currency, if you know what I mean. And I decided to stack nothing but rounds. And this is what I was doing. They'd all be random designs. Sometimes I would get the Buffalo, sometimes I would get a Santa Claus round, sometimes I would get something else. I would get a bunch of different ones, and it was cool. It was always fun not knowing what I was going to get. It was always interesting to see what was going to show up. If I placed an order and I got, I don't know, 5 to 10 random design silver rounds, it's always a surprise. You never know what you're going to get. You might get a bunch of the same rounds. You might get maybe a couple doubles, triples, quadruples. Maybe you get something that you've been looking for. Maybe you'll get something that you never even knew was around before. So it was definitely fun. It was definitely interesting. And still, to this day, even though I no longer stack rounds, my favorite thing about them is it's an ounce of silver, just like a coin would be, but you can get more for your dollars, if that makes sense. So if you're just trying to stack for weight, random design rounds might be a good way to go. I'm not going to recommend anything. This is not a recommendation video. This is just telling you what I do. So enough about rounds. Now let's talk about coins. Similar to rounds, or at least similar to the round that I just showed you, there are both 1 troy ounce, 3 nines fine, silver. So what's the difference between a coin and a round? For those of you who do not know, coin and a round are virtually the same thing, except a coin is minted by a sovereign government, which means it does have face value, which means it is viewed as money or currency or whatever. You can take this to the store and purchase something with it. I wouldn't recommend it, because this thing right now, with spot price being about 15 bucks, plus a $2.50 give or take premium, you're looking at about $17.50, maybe 18 bucks for this little piece right here. But face value, if you can see right there at the bottom, $1. So no, I would not recommend going to the store and maybe buying a candy bar or something like that with one of these. I think coins, as opposed to rounds, with them being government minted, they have a higher level of notoriety. They have trust. They have the ability to be recognized if and when the day comes where you go to sell your stack. Stackers, or people who are looking to buy silver, they're going to know what they're getting because they know exactly what this is. A round, on the other hand, I mean, the silver buffalo might be a bad example because the silver buffalo is probably the most common and recognizable round that there is. But just some random piece of silver with some random design on it, who's to say it's even real? So if it's government minted, it's a little more trustworthy, higher level of notoriety. So I no longer stack rounds. I'm not closed-minded to it. I do think rounds are awesome. I just no longer focus on them. Instead, I focus a majority of my stack on coins. And more specifically than that, a vast majority of my coins are these right here. American Silver Eagles, because I think stacking the coin of my country is probably the safest bet. If I lived in Mexico, I would absolutely be stacking the Libertad. If I lived in Canada, I'd be stacking the Maple Leaf. If I lived in China, I'd be stacking the Panda. I think, regardless of where you live, if you're stacking the coin of your country, it's probably the safest bet. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about are silver bars. Now, similar to rounds, bars are just basic, generic pieces of silver. This sitting out in front of me is a 10-ounce silver sunshine bar. Sunshine, as opposed to other mints, probably the most recognizable bar that there is. It's probably the silver bar with the highest level of notoriety, if not the number one. It's definitely in the top 2 or 3. And I don't stack a lot of bars because they're not government minted. You can get government minted bars, but when it comes to bars, I'm not a fan of 1-ouncers like I was when it came to rounds or coins. Bars, I like larger denomination pieces of silver, such as 5-ouncers and 10-ouncers, and to be honest with you, I can't exactly see myself going any larger than 10. I really like the way a 10-ouncer feels in the hand. I really like that it's not too large. Like, there's 100-ounce bars, there's kilo bars. Personally, I feel like if and when the day comes where the price of silver skyrockets, let's just say $50 an ounce and beyond, it might be a little bit difficult to sell a piece of silver of such a large denomination because, do the math. $50 an ounce multiplied by 100 ounces. People are going to have to fork over a lot of cash or a lot of money, currency, whatever you want to call it, whatever that is in your mind. So I personally stick to 10-ouncers, maybe some 5-ouncers. I think the 10-ouncers are the nicest ones to hold on to. So who knows, maybe one day in the future I'll go bigger than a 10-ounce. I personally can't see myself doing that. I have no desire to. I'm not interested in it. They have their pros and cons. The bigger you go. So I do stack some bars, not a lot of them. Whenever I feel like getting a little bit of silver larger than 1 ounce, I'll go with a bar, like a 10-ouncer. I no longer stack rounds. However, I'm not closed-minded to them. If one fell into my lap, I wouldn't complain about it. But the primary focus of my stack would be coins, more specifically the silver American Eagle. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you guys like me, make sure to subscribe for new videos every single day, 365 days a year. Also make sure to subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive silver content. And if you want to support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. We got the t-shirts, we got the hoodies, we got a bunch of gear that's raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations. It can all be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance, it's more than appreciated. And I want you guys to let me know in the comments. What's your favorite? Coins, rounds, or bars? Do you stack all 3 of them pretty equally? Do you do what I do? Do you stay away from rounds? Do you only stack rounds and stay away from coins? Do you only stack bars? And if you do stack bars, what kind of silver bars do you have? Anything above 10 ounces? Or are you like me and you try to stay away from 10 ounces? Let me know in the comment section down below. Anyway, like the video, leave a comment, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace!